Hey, it's Aaron, and we're here again with another news roundup. This is for the week of October 27th through November 2nd in 2024. A lot of stuff happening this week. First of the SEMA announcements have been made, along with photo galleries of stuff that's going to be at that show later this week. So the SEMA show starts, I believe, on the 3rd. So it started Sunday, I think, and runs for 2 or 3 days. Anyway, got the first of those. We'll have more, I think, next week. I know that Toyota had another one that didn't make this one. So, yeah, we'll get to those. Anyway, first, let's look at the general news for the week. We start out with our cover photo, right here. Look at that beauty. Anyway, actually, we're going to start out with GM Defense. I forgot. That one's like 3 down. But anyway, GM Defense, which is the law enforcement, security, and so on developer at General Motors, they have released their first diplomatic security services armed SUV. So there you go. This one's going to the U.S. State Department. They have another model that I believe will end up in next week's roundup. That is another SUV, if I remember right. I just saw hints of it. I haven't seen the press release yet. Stellantis, which is Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Fiat, etc., they have built revamped a wind tunnel in their proving ground. I can't remember where it's at, in Auburn Hills, right there. This is to specifically study wheel and tire aerodynamics, something that accounts for about 10% of the disturbance as a car moves down the road. So, kind of a cool development there. Even more fuel efficiency, which is kind of what this is all aimed for. They keep talking about they're going to use this to improve their electric vehicles, but I think they're going to improve everything using this. I don't think electric vehicles are the only thing they're going to use it for. Scout is being revitalized. So Scout used to be a model under the International Harvester brand. Back in the day, International Harvester, or IH, or just Harvester, they had a bunch of SUVs. They were some of the first SUVs on the market, and they were an extension of the company's big truck and farm equipment, kind of overall everything. Anyway, International got bought and sold, and the brands got moved around and eventually ended up under the ownership of Volkswagen in 2021. Volkswagen is now revitalizing the Scout brand specifically, and they have a truck and SUV model they're bringing out. These are battery electric and extended range battery electric vehicles, which means the extended range means it has a small engine to provide additional power, so the battery pack doesn't have to be as large. Anyway, these are really cool. It made a big splash this week. It was pretty much most of the news. It even overshadowed the SEMA announcements that were made, which are usually what dominate this time of year. So expect to see more of these. I don't think these are going to be on the market right away. I think they're coming sometime next year. But these are going to be direct sale. Volkswagen is not going to be selling them through their dealership network, at least not for now. So that's going to make some dealers hoping for giant markups very unhappy. Porsche. This is a good one. Porsche is, so the 911 Carrera is a pretty big deal. It's probably the most iconic of the Porsche models. Well, the Carrera T is making a comeback for enthusiasts. This is basically a modern 911 Carrera model that we've already seen on the market, but with a manual transmission as standard equipment and rear axle steering as standard equipment. So pretty cool announcement there. Great photos in this gallery, so go to Car News Cafe and check those out. Link is in the description down below. Cadillac. Cadillac has a bunch of electric models coming out. They've been doing a few, and they're going to do more. Their next one looks like it's going to be the Lyric V, which is or Lyrique, I don't know how you say that. But anyway, it will be the first electric vehicle from Cadillac to carry the V Series badge. So that's kind of cool. There's a good video to go with this one, so check that out as well. Then Hyundai. I don't usually do teasers. I find them really kind of pedantic, but Hyundai's teaser for the Ioniq 9 is a big deal because the Ioniq 9 is going to be a 3-row SUV. So it's going to be competing with, well, Kia already has the EV9. This will be based on that. It's the same platform. But this is going to be something that's very competitive and a market that the electric vehicles have not really gotten into yet. Most of the vehicles that have a 3-row so far outside of the EV9 are 3-row in name only. They're terrible to try because they're usually small sized in the mid-size category. These are full size, so as they're still mid-size vehicles, but they're full size in the mid-size, so they push the border of where you get to true full-size vehicle, which means they have a usable 3-row. Okay, Dodge. Direct connection which is Dodge's kind of, I don't know, direct sales thing. Yeah. So it's basically their website, directconnection.com or Dodge Direct Connection. It's one of those. Anyway, the link is in the actual article here. But anyway, they are launching the Helifant A30 and the Dragpack 354. These Hemi engines are crate engines now that you can get, and then they have 3 supercharger kits that you can use with these and other crate engines from Dodge Mopar. So pretty cool there. Yeah, giant engines. News from overseas. Suzuki, Toyota, and Daihatsu are cooperating on a new electric vehicle model. This is a further collaboration between Suzuki and Toyota, who have already worked together in several markets, including India and other emerging and non-emerging markets. They're also in Europe and a few places. Anyway, they will be building this new EV model to launch in the spring of 2025 in India. So they're going to make it in India, but they're aiming for worldwide markets and eventually the US probably a year or so after that. We'll see how that works out. Then we're back to Hyundai. This is a hydrogen fuel cell electric vehicle concept, FCEV. It's the Intium hydrogen concept. It's a preview of Hyundai's upcoming not only production fuel cell vehicle, but also Hyundai's overall design going forward. Which is why I included it here, because the production fuel cell vehicle is going to see very small production. We'll see it in the US probably only in maybe California or something like that. But it's the design, the overall design. So pay attention to the gallery on this one because this is Hyundai's design moving forward. That's really why I wanted to include it here. News from Walmart. Seems odd in an automotive thing, but Walmart is deploying some Chevrolet Bright Drop electric vans. These are going to be used for Walmart's new in-home delivery service. There's going to be in some major U.S. cities. There's going to be 400 total vans involved in this, so it's a lot of them. These are going to be there basically last mile. When you order on the app or whatever for delivery, chances are this will be what delivers it to you if it's Walmart doing the delivery instead of a subcontractor. So pretty neat there. Chevy has really put a lot of effort into trying to make these vans for this kind of purpose, but hasn't up until now seen a whole lot of interest from buyers. So this is a major milestone for Chevrolet right there. Aptera, if you remember Aptera, Aptera has been an on-again, off-again company trying to make cars for a long time. Their three-wheel design, it's a tadpole, so two wheels in front, one in the back, has been really cool. It was very compelling when it came out, when I first saw it maybe 10 or 15 years ago. It was about 10 years ago, I think. But honestly, it's been a pipe dream. And I don't know how much more, how much it's moved beyond that at this point. But anyway, Aptera did a low speed showcase and proof of concept for their production intent model. This time, the Aptera has moved from a tiny little off-the-shelf engine to an electric model that never happened to now a solar-powered electric model. Whether or not this ever sees production is anybody's guess. I'm really not putting a whole lot of expectation or hope on this. I really don't think it's going to happen, but there is a video to show off. It drove around a parking lot. Woo! That's about as far as they've gotten so far. So there you go. Aptera is back in the news. Now let's get to the SEMA stuff. Our headline image is the first of the SEMA ones. I had that wrong earlier. Anyway, there we go. Show runs from November 5th through the 8th. So there, that's what, Tuesday? Yeah, so Tuesday. Mopar has really cool stuff. Starting with a 67 Plymouth GTX. This is an electromod, which means it's been electrified. It's powered by a concept Mopar E-Crate propulsion package. So the E-Crate would be a electric vehicle package, which is based on the stuff that is going into the Charger EV that comes out pretty damn soon. So that's a pretty cool idea, and it's really cool to see because Electromod is becoming more and more popular, so might as well embrace it and make some money off of it. That's kind of where Mopar is. Excuse me. Ram truck also. So they also brought a Ram 2500 Power Wagon and a new Ram 1500 RHO. These have high impact exterior graphics, lots of accessories, all the stuff you would expect at a SEMA show. You can see the gallery of what they are in on Car News Cafe in the article that I linked below. Toyota. So this is a 4Runner throwback concept called the TRD Surf. This is one of two concepts. The other one, the release came out too late to make this week's Roundup, so it'll be in next week's. That one is a Land Cruiser. But the 4Runner TRD Surf concept, it's pretty cool. They basically chopped the roof off to make it like the old 4Runners back in the first generation and maybe the second, where you can unbolt and pull off what was basically a glorified shell on a pickup truck back in the day, and then threw on a bunch of other stuff to kind of embrace the surf culture of Southern California. So very cool looking, really neat, and I would love to see this kind of thing hit production with the new 4Runner model. This is based on the 2025, so I would love to see this in real life as an actual production option. Infiniti, wanting to jump on the tailgating concept, knew that as a luxury brand, they will not appeal to the blue-collar tailgaters that chest bump and throw, beer bottles around. Instead, they're aiming for a more upper-class tailgater, which is where this autographed lounge concept based on the QX80 comes in. It has, like wine holders, because, we all know when you go tailgating, you bring wine, right? Actually, I think it's a giant Heineken bottle, but it doesn't matter. The point is that it has drawers for all of that. It has the whole rear end is kind of set up as a tailgate with a little TV and all that in there. It's kind of neat. It's a cool concept that is something that you would not think of otherwise. Like most of us would not think of going in a luxury vehicle to tailgate at some football game or whatever. So pretty cool there. I love the kind of the pleated leather, which the QX80 is kind of embraced in most of its current rendition, and then the red highlights and other things like those wheels are just beauty. So check out that gallery. And then Honda. So I believe, no, it's not the last one. Honda Racing. They've announced that they're going to do a new performance parts division. This business will sell stuff that has been developed by the Honda racing team. So the engineers involved in that are working on these. And at SEMA, they're going to be showing off prototypes that are possibilities for their off-the-shelf buys for people that want to upgrade their Honda and Acura vehicles. So pretty neat. Check that out if you go to the SEMA show. Then Nissan. Nissan is going all in at SEMA this year. They've got 5 concepts. 2 of those are based on the Frontier, 2 more based on the Kicks, and 1 based on the Z sports car. So these are pretty cool project builds. The Frontier has a Project Tailgater, which is a tailgate vehicle for sports, of course, and then the Tarmac, which is kind of a speedy racing concept. Both of those are pretty cool. You'll see some pictures in here. Now, the Tailgater concept is more of a camping tailgater in looks, so it could double duty there if you think that these kind of accessories are pretty cool. There's an option. The Kicks has a Beach Patrol model, which just has slightly, knobbier tires and some kind of beachy stuff like a roof rack so you can throw your surfboard on it, that kind of thing. And then the Urban Shadow, which is a dark and mysterious urban version of the Kicks, so that's pretty neat. And then the Z Legend. So the Z Legend is accessories for the Nissan Z sports car, which in my opinion is the best sports car on the market right now that doesn't require that you get a second mortgage. It is a beautiful car, and this is a really cool package for it. So the gallery on that is pretty slim, but I expect that there will be more photos of that coming after the show opens. So we'll see. That is it. What's your reaction? I love this. That's my reaction. Anyway, that is the news roundup for this week. You can go to carneycafe.com if you can't find a link down in the description. But this is our weekly recap of what happened for the week. So that's it. That's all I got. Talk to you again next week.